Hey there, welcome to day 115 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1284 after I think it was a win and a draw last time. And I'm going to do more 10-minute games like we've done the past couple times. Let's go ahead and jump into one. Okay, got black here. Karo Khan. So because he put the bishop here, I think this is like one of the better moves, but I don't see it very often. Where you can't develop your bishop out here. I'm not actually sure what to do against this. Maybe knight first and then try to bring it here and then back if he pushes a pawn. Let's try, normally I would play this right away and then secure the pawn. I have to be careful about anything over there. So let's play knight first, defend this again as well. I don't know if I've ever actually faced this before. Okay, and then we'll just pin this. I think this is fine then. So now we can develop it. And I might actually just take, queen takes. I go back, take. I mean, then I get the open file, so I think that's fine. I don't really want him to hop into here, though. Maybe switch to a pin there. I think I'll just take and just keep it simple. And then just go here. Probably we'll just trade this. If I go here, he might go here and pin the knight, and I might have to go back. So, okay, maybe let's just go here. Just avoid any pin. And get castled quickly. This knight's... I like that this knight can't really develop to these squares any further. That's not an idea because he can take. Okay, let's castle. I think just moving the rook once and maybe this rook. Get the rooks on better squares. So he's pinning this pawn, which is defending the knight, but this is also defending it. He's threatening to maybe go here. I can go here though, and then we win. Well, not win, but we trade the bishop, right? Okay, let's just take that. And queen here. How does he defend the knight? I don't know if he can defend that knight because the queen has to move and he can't get on anywhere on this diagonal, so we might be able to win the knight once the queen moves. But where's the queen gonna go? I'm not sure. Let's try though. See what happens. He can't come into here. Sometimes I get in trouble when the queen comes in back on this diagonal and then can exploit a lot of vulnerabilities inside my pawn chain here. But in this case, my queen is protecting that. Okay, and he just goes ahead and resigns. Nice. Because he was going to lose the knight. So we just gained 7 elo. We're up to 1291 already, so that's pretty cool. Let's take a quick look at the game review, but I don't think there's too much to look at. I have 98.5 accuracy since it was so short. And he gave us both like a 2000 game rating, but he had his one blunder. Was the blunder moving the queen to the edge? Or was it afterwards when he took? I think it was when he moved the queen to the edge because then it forced him to take back and then losing the knight was forced after that. Okay, so yeah, everything's standard. Was taking best? No, it says it wanted me to go back. I wasn't. Sometimes I just regret like not just simplifying and taking after I do like a weird move on the edge like this. So I don't know. I guess there wasn't really a big danger from this, but then I didn't want his knight to come in here so much. I never like when the knight gets there. I mean, I guess it wasn't able to here because I could just take and we trade. Then my knight has to move. It just gets a lot more complicated. So I figured let's just take, and it still was excellent. So no problem really with that. And it did want me to go bishop here to d6, but I just thought it would be annoying if he switched right into like pinning the knight. And then, I mean, we could do that, but then he goes back potentially. It doesn't really like this so much though. But if I go here, okay, I'm threatening to come in here and maybe get the rook. I didn't want this to happen though. But yeah, no, we would just ignore that. Come in here. He takes here, but then if I take his rook, he takes my rook. Okay, no, we go here with tempo. He goes here. This gets pretty messy though. I'm threatening. No, we're not threatening that because it's guarded. What are we even up? We're up +1 after all that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would have played all that. We only get a slight advantage. It's kind of chaotic. So I just played here just to avoid any kind of pin on the knight. Castle, and we're equal here. It still wants me to play bishop d6, and then there's this blunder. A pretty common thing that I've noticed. Sometimes I've missed this before when they try to go for this idea. And then you get to, I mean, it wouldn't have been a blunder if it weren't for the knight tactic, winning the knight after. But he at least allowed me to trade his pretty active bishop off for my knight. So it would have been good either way, even if I didn't win the knight. But because, what did he play? He played here, yeah, like, you have to move the queen, then you have to take back, and then this, there's no way to go to the knight. So very simple, quick game. And because that was so quick, let's definitely play a second one. So here we go. Got white this time, up against a 1266. It looks like maybe he's going for a King's Indian. So I'm going to play knight c3 here. And then go straight for e4. And I think this is good. Castle. I have a little bit of trouble because I've had this set up quite a few times. But I've had a little bit of trouble sometimes knowing exactly, do I want to develop the knight or just push the pawns first? I think I'll start with just pushing h4 because we're always going to want to play that, I think. We want to create an attack over here on his king. But I don't know if I want to play f3 and g4 or put the knight on f3. Sometimes figuring out where to put the bishop and the knight here can get a little tricky because you're trying to balance that with being able to push the pawns to create an attack. Okay, knight comes there. That is guarded. Playing here, if he takes, take here, but he can trade. It's nice when I can pin his pawn, where he can't take, but he can. If I could pin it because I had two attackers here, but that would require this to already be open. So yeah, that doesn't work. I think if he pushed here, then I take, then it's pin. So that gives us a tactic, but that's only if he were to play e5, I think. So for now, let's just play h4. Just push the pawn. Try to create some danger over here on his king side. Okay, he does play that, so I think I can go here. If he takes with the knight, we take, and then he can't take back because we win the queen. So let's just take here. Or I guess we don't win the queen, but we win a rook, right? Wait. Oh, never mind. He could take first because the knight guards it. I actually forgot that the knight guards it. So, yeah, that does change it. I was not thinking about that. Because if I go here, then he takes. Yeah, then I take here. Then he takes the bishop. That doesn't help, I don't think. So I think I'll take first. Because yeah, I'll still win the pawn at least, right? Because his knight is guarding the pawn, but it has to go back. So take. Oh no, because then I lose, never mind, because then I lose the rook, right? To the knight, because I don't, I have 2 attackers, he has 2 defenders, so that doesn't work actually. So, do I take? Take, if he does take here. Can I go here? No, because once he takes, if I could take back with the bishop, that would work, but, hmm. If I trade off the queen, it will kind of ruin my potential to attack over here. So I don't really want to trade off the queen. Maybe let's move the queen. Maybe let's move the queen here, and then his queen has to move or something. And then I can move my bishop. Okay, I think I'm going to try that. Yeah, I totally forgot the knight defense there. Okay, I'm going to go here. See if this works out or not. I still would like to keep the queens and go for a kingside attack. That's normally what I do against the king's Indian. That's what I'm used to. But I need to remember that if the knight's here that he is able to play that and then it's still guarding. Yeah. 2 moves and not take the pawn or anything like that. I think let's just go here and try to get rid of the bishop. Could also go here, pin the knight. I'm not sure if that does too much. I guess if we pin the knight, the benefit is we also close in the bishop. If the knight and the bishop can't move, the queen's fine actually because it's not tied to defending the knight since the bishop is. I think I'm just going to go for this though. This is the typical idea. Although, wait, no, because then he goes here. So that doesn't actually... Let's pin the knight. Let's just go here. I guess maybe he'll push the pawn. Okay. Develops his bishop. I can develop my knight and attack here, but no, it's still guarded. I probably need to go ahead and do something with this bishop. He's not threatening to take that because I have my knight there guarding, I think. I think we're fine on that. Don't want to play too slow here. Okay, maybe, can I just... No, I can't do that because he has 2 attackers. Knight here. Let's just push the pawns. Maybe, do I get my knight out first? See, that's the problem, is it's pretty tight for developing the knight and the bishop because I want to make room for the pawns. Let's try pushing the pawns. And here we also, actually this is good because we prevent the knight from forking there, so maybe we can push our bishop. And we support this pawn. Okay, he wants rook trade. Tactics, I mean, if I take and he takes there, no, I can't take that. Here, here. Then if the knight moves, we can take there, but I don't know, I don't want to trade a bunch of stuff off. Okay, let's just go here, and if he takes, we just take with the king, and if he checks again, I'll probably just develop the bishop here to block. Okay. I'm assuming he'll probably just check here. He's in here. The knight comes here. This is still guarded twice. Okay, checks with the queen. I think same thing. Now we've restricted this knight a lot, which I like. He's able to go back. Okay, he does do that. Now I'm interested in just trying to break this open. Do I want to go here first? Not sure, actually. Do I go here? Take doesn't look so good, but if I take... This needs to have two guards though, because if the knight hops over, I need something that can defend it. Okay, let's just push like this first. Maybe this knight goes here. The bishop is pinned, so I might want to just step the king aside, actually, at some point here. Step it back to where it was here on c1. Maybe I should even do that before trying to open up his king side. Okay, he pushes there. I think I'm going to go here, though, which is where I wanted to go before. Is there anything over here? We do attack the queen here. I don't think... I mean, we hit this pawn. If the queen went back to there... No, I don't think there's too much. I don't think I can... Well, maybe I can fork the rook and the bishop, but the queen's going to be here. He's probably able to just guard it. Let's save that for later. I think for now, let me just go here and just try to trade the bishop off. And then we got to take that, and then I'll probably look to sack the knight maybe here. But do I move the king over first is the question. Because my bishop is... He's going to attack it here, and then my queen might be a problem. If I go here, he goes here. Okay, let's just do it. I don't want to have the bishop pinned. It just seems pretty dangerous. And he did close up the king side, but yeah, I'm definitely interested in sacking the knight here. Okay, he goes there anyway. Let's maybe just encourage him to trade here. I don't have too much time to think because it's a 10-minute game. We're getting a little low time. I think I'm fine, probably fine with just trading because this bishop is not super strong. It's behind all these light square pawns that I have. Wait, what? That's a weird move. I mean, he didn't... The knight is not hanging, but it's very strange. He's going to put his bishop here. Maybe there's a tactic there, but I'm not sure what it would be. If I go here, his bishop is almost trapped. I think I'll just go for that right away. Because how does he save the bishop? Oh wait, he can take here with check, actually, never mind. Okay, so I can't do that right away. Let's just go here. I have to play quickly here. He has 5 minutes, I have 2 minutes, so... I want to take here. If I can move my bishop, then I guard this pawn with the queen, actually. But if I sack here, the queen's going to be moving anyway, so... I'm wondering if there is a way to trap him. Okay, that's pinned. Is there a danger there? I don't... We could go here right after. Yeah, I'm just going to sack first and figure that out later. I think if I just push here, I don't think there's an issue, right? Well, maybe he has check there, but I come back. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Actually, or do I just attack? No, I can't do that. Don't have that yet. Where does the queen want to move to? Maybe queen here. And if he moves, get at the knight. If he tries to come here, I can push. I don't think that's too dangerous. Probably. It could be dangerous, but let's just play this because I want to be able to push these pawns here. Actually, I mean, my bishop just guards this, so if he does that, there's not actually a threat as long as my bishop's here. So I don't even have to worry about that as much as I was thinking. My bishop is still not very good, but at least it does kind of prevent an attack here. Okay. I don't have a great place to go, actually. I might just have to go back. Can't take there. Don't have any check. Okay, I have to go back to here. Oh, and then that loses the pawn, yeah. But maybe, can I use that to my advantage somehow? Open the file. Okay, I'm gonna go back here for now. That's guarded. Just have to use the open file to try to create an attack. Otherwise, I might be in trouble because I only have a minute. So I'm thinking here, attack the rook. Wait, can I try to trap the bishop now? Oh yeah, he doesn't have the check there, so maybe I can win the bishop. Because he moved here. That's guarded. So here, we come here. He takes, I take. It just opens that up. Okay, let's see what he plays, but I'm prepared to play that. Maybe this. He could slide the queen over to guard. Could also go here right away because the bishop does guard this. But then if he just trades, my bishop comes back and then I don't have as much of an attack. This knight really helped him because it was guarding this pawn that whole time, so I never was able to take, and that's why I had to retreat. If I could have taken here with check, that would have been completely different. Okay, he's taking his time here, though. Also, I am lined up with the knight, so if the queen moves, maybe there's something there. Bishop here. Doesn't have a check. Okay. I have a minute 20. He has a little under 3 minutes now. Okay. Queen comes over. He's double attacking that. I'm going to go ahead and... I know now he takes there with check, so it doesn't work. I'm just going to go here. Just attack the rook. Okay, maybe could go here, we trade. Can't go here yet. I'm gonna go here, just get in line with the queen here. And maybe try to attack the knight. If the queen moves, then maybe I do go for just trapping the bishop. He's not... Okay, he moves there. Let's go here. I just can't even think, I just have to play quick and see what we can do. I'm gonna go king up and trap him. He might just take right away. We can just get him low on time as well. Make him think a little bit. Bishop can come here at some point to hit the knight with the rook there. Okay, let's go here because now I guard that anyway. Okay, so I assume he's going to take the pawn here. And I'll take back. You still guard that. I'm going to go bishop here. Hit the knight, although I mean it is guarded by the queen right now, but do have to be careful because my king and queen are lined up, so. Okay, he's attacking those. Let's just go here. I'm still guarding that for now. Don't have time to think. Oh wait, he did just blunder the knight, right? Oh wait, I just hung that up. Don't know what I was even doing. I thought he moved somewhere else, but I'm trying to play quick. Take. Wait, no, let me just go back. Actually, we're fine here. He could have taken the rook. Yeah, I blunder a lot when I start trying to play quick like this, which of course is natural, but I think he should have definitely taken that. Okay, let's go here because I just want to throw him off a little bit, and we're just playing for clock. Okay, I have to take. Let's go here. We're gonna try to win this pawn, maybe. Okay, can't win the pawn. I'm gonna just go here. Oh wait. Okay, I just messed up because I can't protect. Oh wait, he missed. I think he could have just taken that. Oh, I just hung it again, but I'm just hanging everything. Okay, let's try to beat him on time. It's the only hope. Oh, could I just have taken the knight? Do I get a queen? I do. Okay, this is getting a little crazy. Alright, now he got another queen. Okay, checkmate. Yeah, he finished that off really well with one, just under 2 seconds, so. That got extremely messy at the end when I got really low on time. I think until that point, like, we were doing okay, but I just got way too low on time. But obviously he did too, so. At the very end, I started blundering my bishop a bunch, and then it was completely winning for him. But I thought I might be able to win just by flagging him, but he converted that to a win pretty quickly in the last moments of it. Oh, there was a big blunder somewhere in the middle here. I had 2 blunders, he had 2 blunders. It gave us a terrible game rating, 600 and 900 Elo game rating. 62.7 accuracy for me and 65 for him. So, okay, that was pretty bad actually. A lot of inaccuracies, a lot of misses. There's 12 misses between the two of us actually. I had 4 and he had 8. So, I'm pretty interested to see what I missed. Alright, this was all fine. Everything was good here. All best moves, I have a winning position. Taking was good. That was my blunder. Left my bishop vulnerable to being captured. Oh, because if he takes there, it's still attacking my queen, actually. I completely did not account for that. So, I should have taken... Yeah, I didn't want to because I just wanted to create an attack, but... I guess the one nice thing is it does kind of undevelop his knight. Oh wait, I do win the pawn at the end. Why did I think that I wasn't winning the pawn? Oh, and then... Wait, he takes that. I take this. What the heck? This is kind of a crazy line. Wait, why did I miscalculate this though? I was thinking if I take, then he takes, just queen for queen. But if he takes with the rook, then we just trade the rooks and the knight comes back. Okay, for some reason I thought that I couldn't take that without losing material. And then we take and then he takes. Yeah, that would have been crazy as well. And that's the thing, is these kind of positions can get really chaotic and they can be pretty cool sometimes. Okay, yeah, he should have taken there because then he's threatening the queen. So that was his first miss, I think. But apparently he's gonna have 7 more. Okay, it wanted me to bring the knight to the center here, right here, because we do hit there. Take. Can't take that. But it seems like this pawn could be in danger. Maybe not, because if he goes there, I could guard it with another pawn. Maybe that's why I want him to go here to prevent this. But apparently playing f3 was inaccurate, so I had a 1+1 advantage here. But after f3, it's back to equal. Really, so I didn't like any of these moves. I thought these were good, but I was also thinking of going here right away, right? No, that's a mistake. I think the concern with that was... What was it, actually? I don't remember. I don't remember why I didn't do that right away. He's winning after that? And he just wanted me to just take his rook. I was still just hoping to get like a nice attacking idea over here, so I was kind of clinging on to keeping material on the board, but maybe I should have just not worried about it and traded down, it seems like. Then we push for that, and it's still equal, so I'm not winning or anything. He wanted the king back over instead of bishop out here. You know what? Why didn't... That makes complete sense. Why didn't I just go back over? Because then I had a whole issue with worrying about the bishop later on, because it was pinned. For some reason, I didn't even think about just hopping back over. I guess I just wanted to develop the bishop. Yeah, I think that's all it was. I was just thinking, okay, I can develop and block at the same time. But then that pin just became really dangerous, so... Okay, then we push. That was a mistake. It did want me to play knight here, which I considered. But I thought he goes there. Okay, I can take the pawn. We hit both of these. He comes over. But I figured, I guess just to win the pawn, it's worth it. And then we trade off for the bishop. No, that only says good. So it wanted me to stay here. Just go back. Oh yeah, but then he can take my pawn here. I would have definitely just taken that so that he couldn't take my pawn. Then we go here. Okay, no, I wouldn't have played that. I would have just played here. Take, drop back. Apparently he has a slight advantage though after that, so. I think the main issue was just back around here when I started playing the wrong moves, like not taking and then blocking with the bishop. So that's why like almost anything I do around here, he still has a slight advantage. Like that was a mistake. He goes in here to attack the bishop. I kick him, and it wanted me to go here. Bishop is guarded twice, but I didn't want him to keep adding more pressure. Like, I guess he could even go here when it was pinned. Oh wait, no, it wasn't pinned anymore at this point, so never mind. Let me see the follow-up. It says a risky move leaving your king open to potential attacks. That's all it is, just check, take. I guess, yeah, then there's this file open on the king. I guess that's not good. That was a weird, so that was his miss. That was a weird move for him to play over to the edge like that, and then later we won his bishop. So we sacked the knight. Apparently that sacking the knight was an inaccuracy, but I felt like it gave us a pretty good chance to create an attack, but I didn't have anything to follow up, so I guess I guess the engine knew that there was no follow-up because the pawn was guarded here, and there really weren't any checks. I couldn't check here, and I couldn't open up a file with the pawns yet. So I had to go back here. We lost that pawn. Wait, so what should I have played? So this was a mistake because I ended up losing the pawn. It wanted me to just go rook over to here. Oh yeah, okay. Just go ahead and line up on this file earlier. I went for that later in the game, but this would have been a good time to go ahead and do that. Yeah. And then not lose this pawn, because this is kind of what blew this whole position, this side of the board apart. Because he was able to take that pawn, and then this is hanging. I mean, it's guarded by the bishop, but it's not protected by other pawns in this one as well. This was a mistake because of a fork. When the bishop threw a fork. What fork? With the knight? Here? But it's still guarded. Let me see, show fork. I don't get why I give the bishop up there though. 2 defenders here, and I can add a third if I need to. Why not just play something else? Like, Well, I don't think I want to go for trapping at this point, because then he could sack a piece and take 2 pawns, and then my king is... Oh yeah, that's really bad, because he's lined up with the queen right on my king there. So maybe trapping the bishop doesn't work here, but I feel like I could have played something else, like, I mean, probably just here. Oh, that's a blunder because... Oh, never mind. Because once he hops there, this pawn is pinned, so he's threatening to fork the king and the queen. So that's why it wins the bishop, I guess, because I have to... Let's see. Because I have to move the queen, but I can still go here and it's still guarded, right? No? Take. Oh, because once he takes... No, he can't. What am I doing? I'm trying to take his rook with his own knight. I can't take with the pawn, I guess, right? Because he has this double check. Is that going to just be mate? Is that why? Yeah. That's just mate because this escape square is blocked by my queen. Okay. So there were some crazy tactics there, actually, that he could have had, but did not find them. So that's why he had so many misses. Okay, and then here he blundered. And I was able to win the bishop, so that was why that was a blunder. And now we're back to even. He was winning for a long time. We're back to equal after I get the bishop. And then I go there. He blunders the knight. This is where we're just trying to flag each other, basically. So it's just going to be like constant blunders after this point, I think. I could have taken this, but I was already like just trying to move the queen somewhere. And then I blundered the rook right after. I don't know why. For some reason I thought I could go into where the knight was, but it literally just hopped from there and is still guarding that. So that made no sense, but again, just trying to play to make him think and run out of time here. He forces the queen trade, which was... Apparently I'm totally winning, actually. Oh, I should have pushed the pawn first. Push the pawn. I would have been scared of the pawn getting taken, I guess. Maybe I can get it to where the bishop can support it, though. Like there. No, that says inaccurate. Oh yeah, because then he has 2 attackers, so... It seems hard to defend it if you push it. So I went for just trying to attack this way. But I was completely winning here. It was +3. And he had 28 seconds and I had 38 seconds. But then I just trying to play... Maybe I should have just slowed down just a little bit, because trying to play too quick, I did just completely blunder a winning in-game. That... Let's see. What else could I have done? So going over here, what does that do? That almost brings it right down to even. So I guess I kind of had to play this. What about pushing this pawn? No, that's a mistake. What about going... There doesn't seem good. Maybe... No, here he goes here. Were there any other good moves? Going back here? That's a mistake. So I guess everything is a mistake except for pushing right away. What about this? That's a mistake. Okay, everything is a mistake here. Except for pushing the pawn. This? Yeah, it's all a mistake. So I had to push the pawn to maintain my advantage. And then we go here. Okay, and then this is nice because we're cutting off all the squares here. Light square cut off, and even his knight can't really hop forward. It can hop over here. So that's actually pretty nice. He goes here. Wait, he's sacking this one? Sacking this to get his knight back in? Or maybe get his king over? I think I would have taken... Let me see what that says though. That's a miss. Still +2 though. But then his knight gets back in the game. He's attacking this. Then I come over. Yeah, this pawn actually was kind of restricting my king's ability to get right into the game. Okay, we still have a nice advantage though, so... If this was in a longer game, where I had more time, or like a 15-minute game, I think we would have been able to convert this pretty easily. But then what did I actually play? Okay, let me go back to it. So, trade the queen, didn't push the pawn, that was a miss again, so it's just giving me a bunch of misses for not pushing that pawn. Yeah, that makes sense. I should have pushed it at that point for sure, because my king can now come in and support it. Then check, and he forked the bishop, and I couldn't actually go to where I could guard it, so that was a nice tactic, but he didn't even realize it. He was just focused on this pawn. So he took that, and then I just blundered the bishop again. I don't even know what I was doing, just trying to play quick. So hung the bishop, and then that's why I lost. I should have maybe not done that, just slowed down it just a tad to not blunder my piece, because then I would have had a, I still, when I did that, where was that? Right here? I still had 6 more seconds than him, so yeah, I would have been fine, I think. What was the eval actually? Was it even there? No, he was winning already actually by a lot. -4, because he did win this pawn over here. He's only at +1, but he has this pass pawn. So it was not even. It was actually, he was already winning by quite a bit. I was just like walking my king around quickly, whereas he was moving his knight. I probably should have used my bishop more instead of just walking the king around. But yeah, I don't end up in these situations where I'm flagging in a rapid game very often. But we had this yesterday where I won at the very end on time as well. So it can happen pretty often in these 10-minute games. And then we did get to promote here, and then he only had less than 10 seconds, and I just tried to move around quickly, but he got the mate very quickly there because my king was already cut off. So all he had to do was just pre-move walking up, and then he's good. Okay, so that was an interesting game. We're back to 1282. I think I lost a tiny bit of elo because the first one I won, I got 7 points, and this one I don't know what I lost, um, but yeah, we're about at where we started for the day, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. Um, yeah, this has been, what is it, day 115? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on day 116.